Good morning. It is game day. Back to the routine. We have Fulham against Liverpool, and we are after yesterday's result between Everton and Arsenal. Who knew that the Blues would do us a little bit of a favour? But to be fair, it's just probably Arsenal being Arsenal. We are 3 games away now at this point from wrapping up. 3 games and a draw.
Last 11.
Something like that. It's not far away at all. I think we can all start to dream. But I'm joined this morning by Brian and Sir Z. Brian, how are you?
Fantastic with our pollen snowstorm that we had last night.
Yeah, apart from the pollen, it's a good day to watch a Liverpool game. Other than that, Sir Z, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. It feels like we haven't left Thursday.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I've been just sitting here at this desk since then. No, that's not true because everybody knows I work every minute of the day. But it is Liverpool against Fulham. The team lineups are out. Let us hope I have not been gypped by Live Score that we borrow their lineups from. But here is a look at Liverpool's just to get us started. Everything looks okay there. Curtis Jones at right back again, but the surprise being Gakpo on the left for Diaz, and everything pretty much as probably expected. Alisson not on the bench, still recovering from the concussion. Probably maybe another week of the return to play protocol for him. Where it gets progressively more advanced. But let's see what we think of the line of gentlemen. Surprised by the Cody Gakpo one, I think. I was personally, but Curtis Jones at right back, not a surprise, and he did a great job, and let's hope he does another one. But Brian, what do you think of it?
I mean, I was kind of go off of what Kazi came there, a little bit of what Kazi said on Discord earlier. This midfield's getting tired. I mean, I already know that Slot was going to go there. It was predictable because I mean, it's okay for a manager to go there to have his favorites and to run. But I just get concerned right there with Gravenberch just getting run down. I like Gakpo. I think Gakpo is our best person right now, currently on the left. It's decent and good to see Bradley on the bench. I mean, so I think that Bradley may get some minutes today, which we need to desperately to have a real right back. Even though Curtis is doing a good job.
We talked about possibility of Slot changing things up. Clearly didn't watch the show on Thursday. Clearly didn't watch the show. What is he doing? But nevertheless, the thing about it is, I think we can all see a little bit of a freshening up in the midfield as we talked about on Thursday. If not shape, then personnel would be of benefit to the team. But do you think he's thinking 3 more games? I just got to push these guys for 3 more games, and once we get it, then I can relax a little bit. Because first season winning the league, that's probably a lot of pressure we haven't taken into consideration for the manager himself, isn't it?
It is. I don't know. It just feels like because he's not oblivious to what people are saying on social media. You can he's admitted he sees social media. I think the more he sees people talk about rotating the midfield, the more he digs his heels in just to prove a point. Because I really don't understand at this point out of season, knowing what everyone else is saying, that our midfield is tired, but he just continues to stick. With the same players. It's like he's either trying to kill him or he really is just really stubborn and he's just trying to dig his heels in. It's interesting, Diaz hasn't been in the squad, so I'm not sure if he's picked up a knock or whatever. But yeah, it's same again, I guess, from last week, except for Diaz obviously not being in the squad.
Now, Brian, we've talked before, Kazi, we talked about in room 433 on Thursday about stats and stuff like that. And one of the key things about stats being used in the modern game is the biological numbers, the biological data that tells you how fatigued a player is. Is it possible that the biological numbers for these 3 midfielders are probably good? They're probably telling you, this is, these guys are good to go again. But that's where the eye test is probably more important because we can see that they're a bit leggy. We can see that they're a little bit diminished. that sometimes, as useful as data is, sometimes it doesn't tell the whole story. As Barack said before on one of the post matches, it doesn't take into account psychological emotional fatigue. It doesn't take into account that, I got to go again, which every athlete is going to do. That's why they're professional athletes, because, well, the rest of us will just go, you know what, I don't fancy this game today, I'll just stay in bed. They get up and again, and fair, I do that, for doing the dishes, but never for a donut. Never for a donut. I'll beat Usain Bolt. We are mere mortals, and they are not, and they push themselves every day past the pain barrier, past the fatigue barrier, past the emotional and psychological barrier to be the successes they are. Is it possible that they are data-wise fit to play, but eye test-wise, clearly we could do with a change?
I mean, it's very possible right there that they could be. I mean, the players themselves could go there and say that they're fit to play. And sometimes it goes with a physio right there to actually put that down and say, "Hey, you can't do it." Kind of like the lactic test right there. That clock ran and some other clubs run. I know we skipped the lactic that we stopped doing that process last summer, but I mean, you can just kind of just tell. I mean, we can tell. All of us here can tell where Gravenberg is at the moment, right there. I mean, it's the past couple of matches right there. It seems like the attention span kind of dips a little bit, and you're seeing problems there. I mean, but I'm curious if a player who's professional is going to be professional and want to play every minute that they can possibly play. It just goes to the point right there of you saying, "Hey, I know you want to play, but you can't. I mean, you have to rest." I mean, I'm hoping now that we're just basically on one match a week. I mean, for the next month right there, that maybe this will get resolved right there. Maybe these guys will be able to get that time right there to get their legs back to them. Until now, we're just going to kind of watch what we're watching.
Suzy, for the defense, occasionally a player can come in as a stand-in and have a blinding game in that position for that one game, but then after that they revert to being the player they are, thinking in the position they're used to. Do we have anything to worry about with Jones, or should we take Arne Slot's quote from during the week that Curtis Jones, most players want to be comfortable, but Curtis Jones actively seeks out challenges as an encouragement that, this kid, he could be the James Milner of the future. You pretty much put him anywhere and he's going to do a solid job, if not a spectacular one.
I think Jones has shown, like, when pressure's on him, say like when we played Chelsea, and and his mentor man Mark Cole Palmer, he did an excellent job, but then, well, when he gets some praise, it kind of falls off a bit. So again, today will be probably an acid test of how he is. I think with Everton, he wasn't really attacked that much against Everton. But he seems like one of them players, like when he's in the spotlight, he'll have a good game, and then he starts to like waver off a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see how he plays today against Robinson. I think he'll have a lot more to do defensively against Fulham than he did with Everton.
So what you're saying is basically he should play every single game in a new position, including goal, right?
Yeah.
Now, speaking of that, Brian, Kelleher back in goal again, probably for one more week before Alisson is probably cleared to play. I don't have any worries about Kelleher. I'm a huge fan of him, not even just because he's Irish. If he wasn't Irish, I'd still be a huge fan of him. He's a bloody good goalkeeper. But in the back of his mind, if we assume that things are going to go the way we have predicted they're going to go, it's shop window time for Kelleher, and the best game he has is the best thing for him, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I was about to say that right there. I mean, the more minutes he plays, the more he puts himself out there. I mean, so this is kind of like important for him to actually go there, to have good stats, and to actually have a good a challenging game that he can go well at. I mean, especially by what we saw yesterday. I don't know if you saw the Valencia and Real Madrid highlights from yesterday. The Georgian keeper Mastrovelli actually looked pretty good. I mean, he had a really, really, really good match against Real Madrid. So yeah, I mean, I think that Keller basically is saying, "Hey, I know I'm leaving, so I have to go out there and I have to do the best I can do with what time they give me."
Now, just on that, like, we frequently talked about goalkeepers having stinkers for everybody else and then raising their game against Liverpool. I didn't see Mamardashvili against Real Madrid, but is a possibly worrying that he had a great game against Real Madrid, but then hasn't done so well against the likes of Levante and stuff like that.
Oh, I mean, definitely. I mean, not to say that the guys in front of him are very much are help him out very much. I mean, if you look at that their goals scored against, I mean, but I mean, he actually he had some pretty solid saves against Mbappe, and I mean, he got scored by Vinny, but it was a really good, well kept match.
Now let's move back to us. Let's have a look at the Fulham team, because when I saw the lineup, I was a tad surprised. There's some players missing from there, and they're on the subs bench, which we'll get to. I don't know whether, because I don't follow Fulham close enough, I don't know whether they're injured or not. But Traore not there, Smith Rowe not there. Does this feel like Fulham are like Marco Silva, isn't it? It's Marco Silva, not Marco Rose for this thing. Yeah, I always get those two confused. But Marco Silva is kind of saying, you know what? We've got bigger fish to fry. We're not going to probably beat Liverpool, so let's not injure some of our better players or fatigue them out for winnable games coming up that could solidify us, get us into that Conference League place. Because it seems like if there's no injuries involved, it's a really strange decision to not play your best players or some of your best players in their best positions. What do you think, Susie?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about Traore. Traore is really hit or miss. So, I mean, when he has
literally sometimes he hits.
Yeah. So I'm not sure about him so much. I mean, I still think that's a pretty dangerous team. And we've seen in the past Fulham raise a game against us, and they give us a really tough game. So, I mean, I still won't take this team lightly. Session, he's a good player. Pereira. It's their left side, Robinson and Session, that kind of worries me going up against Jones and Sabozza hasn't been in the best form, so it's that side of the pitch really worries me.
But the thing I'm looking at there is, if I remember, I might be misremembering, but isn't it Castagna not a left back? Didn't he play for left back for Leicester? Yeah. I mean, you know what I mean? Like that suggests that maybe they were expecting Diaz there, and then they're going to be in for a bit of a surprise there because he's not even a great fullback. Because he was decent. Yeah. There's opportunities here, isn't there?
There's definitely opportunities. It's I don't know. Fulham, that every time I think that we're gonna get one over them, or be an easy game, they just play out of their skins against us, and they give us a tough game. I can't remember the last time we actually had a game where it was a comfortable win or anything else. It's always been like tooth and nail game. Yeah, I mean, on paper, it looks good, except for that left side or their left side. And then we've seen Leno have amazing games against us. But it's. I don't think the manager takes this game that lightly against us. I think he knows that his players just always step up against us for some reason.
Brian, I want to bring it back to goalkeepers again because that is a good point. Leno, he was at one time one of the most kind of remarked about goalkeepers for a bit. Had a bit of a drop off as a lot of players do, but still a useful goalkeeper. And as he said, can play out of his skin. Is it going to come down to that in this game where, we're going to have plenty of possession, a lot of shots, but maybe not a lot of shots on target, which I was looking at during the week. That's actually a trend. Or shots, just general shots, blocked and missed and on target shots have risen, but our shots on target have gone down. since the beginning of the season, but certainly since January, the trend has been steadily downward. So we've become less efficient in front of goal. But if you're going to only get 3 shots on target, you're going to have to hope that goalkeeper's not having a storm on that day, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, kind of goes by what you said a couple of months ago, right there. If you control the ball that much, right there, but you still, I mean, it's sometimes you don't score, and that's a problem. And that's kind of what we're kind of in the middle of at the moment. I mean, but I watched Leno against Crystal Palace in the FA Cup, and I mean, he pretty much had a pretty poor match. I mean, where Palace basically came through, just had at will in their box. So I mean, of course, yeah, we always say that these like mid table slash lower table keepers always have the games of their life against us. I mean, we see it constantly, but other than the conference right there, I think that Fulham don't have really much to play for at the moment. I mean, it's kind of this there. I mean, even getting into the conference is going to be a jump for them right now, because I mean, you still have Villa, you still have all these clubs right there that are still in that Chelsea, City, all this in a mix that they're within a couple points of each other. I think Fulham is almost kind of the odd man out in this situation. So it's I don't know what their motive is at the moment, but to just sustain.
Let's have a look at the subs bench. Benches. Yaros in goal. Connor Bradley is back, Suzy. I can't imagine they put him on that bench without him being ready to get some minutes. And then in the way it's lined up here, Chiesa right at the bottom. It's almost like in order of who you have to put on first before you get to the one you don't want to play. I think that's just the quirk of the thing. But if you had a list of favourites for early start, it's probably in that order outside of the goalkeeper. But I mean, it's a good bench today, isn't it? We've only got, I think, 4 players to come back, and Alisson's a concussion, so it's more of a precaution. So he doesn't get second concussion syndrome than it is that he's out for the season, kind of a deal. We should have enough to change the game with that bench, shouldn't we?
Oh yeah. It's good to see Bradley back. Obviously, I'm not sure who we play next. Who do we play next week?
Let me check.
It's a West Ham at home.
West Ham, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be good to see him get some minutes like towards the end. I think inevitably, Nunez and Diaz may come on. Chiesa will do his regular warm up and just not come on at all, same as Elliot. And then I think Endo will come on as well towards the end. I mean, yeah, definitely squad wise, like our bench is a lot more fresher than most benches out there because she just doesn't rotate that much. Hopefully, we don't get to see Simicast. Yeah, our squad just looks really good, but like you say, it's like the eye test, and you can just see our midfielders just literally running on fumes, and it'll be good to see Endo and Elliot get some minutes, and definitely Chiesa get some minutes. But yeah, I mean, you didn't see Raul Jimenez on the other on their bench, and he's always dangerous. And Traore, depending on which Traore comes on, you know, he can cause a problem for him. But like I said, on paper, including that bench, it should be a win, but it's Fulham, and like Trevor says, they're just a perennial pain in the arse for us.
Now, just looking at the Fulham benches, this is what I was thinking. It was like Willian, Adama Traore, Raul Jimenez, Tom Kearney. I mean, that's a lot of experience. That's left from Fulham. You would like to think that he would put experienced players on against the team chasing for the league. And it's a calculated risk to think that they're going to change the game against Liverpool. But, as you say, Fulham can be, and Trevor says it too, big hello to Trevor there, they're a pain in the ass sometimes. But on the other hand, my social media feeds have been graced all week with previous games against Fulham. And number one, they tend to be quite entertaining. But number two, there seems to be a lot of spectacular goals scored on them as well. So are we maybe looking a little bit at that today?
I was watching the Sturridge goals and the Sturridge hat-trick against them. We could definitely do a Sturridge. That's for sure. I was looking at Salah, like he hasn't been the same Salah since just before Ramadan started, and he's only one goal away from being behind, Kane in the goal scoring charts for the Premier League. So I mean, I think he's due for a big game. He's sitting on 184 with Aguero and who else was it? Andy Cole. It'd be great to see him have a big game today and just like push for more records. I think he can catch up with Harry Kane if he if he gets his goal scoring boots on again and starts performing again. But yeah, I'm looking for him to have a big game today.
Now, just looking at the table there, I haven't got it to bring up, but if Fulham did win today, they'd be 2 points behind Newcastle United, Brian. So, I mean, that's a for a team that hasn't been in Europe. That's a big prize, isn't it? It should motivate them to want to win because they've got Brighton and Bournemouth ahead of them, and that they seem to be having a bit of a wobble, if I remember correctly. So I mean, there's things to play for them, isn't there?
True. I mean, there's definitely things to play for him. I think that with him is, I mean, maybe they're just going there and using this team right there to grind out a first half with it and play defensively, and then put their offense on and after they see our midfield tires down. I mean, to go off of what Sir Z was saying about Salah right there, I mean, the whole key to why Salah stopped scoring is this midfield's been kind of shut down. I mean, so you shut down this distribution that you have. It's not even just a Trent thing. I mean, with this, I mean, I think that this is they figured out how to smother our midfield. And once they've done this right there, as you've seen, Salah basically has slowed down drastically on that right side. So, I mean, again, it goes back to what we said right there. Sometimes you got to freshen things up right there just to throw another variable into the mix and all that. And I think that's what we're kind of in the middle of, just crawling along right there until we get to the end of this season at the moment, it seems.
Let me ask you this. So, in terms of Salah, we just talked about the spectacular goals that we've seen in previous Fulham games. He scored some penalties for us recently, probably more than outfield goals. But does Salah need a spectacular Salah-style goal just to perk him up a little bit? Like his little espresso shot for the last few games of the season.
I mean, I really think that Salah needs distribution. I mean, more than that. I mean, I think that's the problem. I mean, he's not getting his distribution. Would it be great for him to see, for him to get a brace or to have some spectacular shots? Yes, absolutely. But I just want him to get the ball. I mean, that's what I mean. And we're not seeing that at the moment. I don't know what to fix. I mean, that I've already said right there, but I'm not the gaffer, so I mean, it's up to him.
Talking about the implications of yesterday. I always think Everton against Arsenal is a tough game for Arsenal. Always, maybe never for Everton, but always for Arsenal. And the online joke right now is that they'll have to give us an honor guard with fans in the stadium as well when we played them. But psychologically, yesterday was a huge psychological blow to Arsenal, wasn't it? I mean, not just to drop the points, but to drop the points in Liverpool, near the rivals that they're trying to chase. And a win today would surely end it in Arsenal's heads. Even in Mikel Arteta's delusional mind, it would be over if we win today, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think so. And I think Arsenal had so many psychological blows because of how we've performed. I'm not even sure how they're not in the asylum. Because it's just every other week they're talking about these psychological blows that they're receiving, and it's just because the deluded fans of still think that they have a chance. And And I keep saying, oh, well, this is probably the worst season of the Premier League, and that's why we're running away with it. No, it's not. We've won 22 games out of 30 games, and everyone else hasn't. Despite Arsenal having injuries and Man City falling off, the other teams are still performing. If Arsenal can't beat them or Man City can't beat them, that's not down to us. You look at Forest, Forest almost relegated last season. They're third in the league. So the other teams around the league are improving. Newcastle won their first trophy in 70 years or whatever it was. And, the other teams are still up there. So it's not been a bad league. It's been a bad league for everyone else. We just got on with our job and just won like 22 games out of 30 games. And compared to Klopp's teams, we haven't done it as attractively as, our games haven't been as attractive as Klopp's, but we've done it in a more mature and a calculated way. And, we've still, our goal difference is 43 goals. Next one is Arsenal, like 13 goals behind. So, again, that's not our fault. We're still winning the games, but we're doing it more in a more calculated way and in a more mature way. So, it's with Arsenal, I never thought Arsenal had a chance of winning this league this season. I didn't expect a big drop from Man City, that's for sure. I thought it would be between us and Man City, and it was just Man City that took me by surprise, the biggest, and obviously Forest. But no, Arteta is just. I saw this meme the other day, and had all the managers who won the league in the first season, and it's got Arteta still there, like 6 years after, saying trust the process, and it's just they're not going to beat Madrid in the Champions League either. So again, it's going to be another trophyless season, and they won't even get into the Community Shield next season either. So,
Brian, I was watching just for amusement as always, but watching the Arsenal TV and the Mark Aldridge channels, etc. last night. But the Arsenal one, I can't remember which one it was, but one of them made a good point. It's always for Arsenal, it seems like one step away from a genuine title contender, a genuine challenge on the title, but or for any trophy. But nevertheless, Arne Slot's come in and taken over a Liverpool team that finished second or finished third. Was it third last year?
We're third.
And are about to win the league. Eddie Howe has ended Newcastle's 70-year chase for a trophy with the Carabao Cup. It seems a lot of excuses for Mikel Arteta, doesn't it? At some point, they have to say that the George Foreman grilled team talks are not working. So it could be we're worried about us for next season with massive changes possibly on the horizon. But at some point, you have to say, the lad in charge has got us close enough, but not as close as we want to be. Given how this season's gone, trophyless for Arsenal, next season is going to be a huge pressure for Arteta, isn't it?
It's like the old philosophy right there: forever the bridesmaid, never the bride. That's Mikel Arteta, basically. I mean, I think that he was in a comfortable spot right there with when he was underneath a Pep right there, where he learned and stuff like that. But the problem is right there that Pep's system is getting found out and getting solved, and I think that when Arteta still hasn't hung that up. Very dependent on certain players right there. I mean, if you notice, now without Gabriel being out, that's going to be pretty detrimental to them. I mean, that's basically going to shut them down. So
I see. I want to jump in and say Arteta's wrong, or Spencer's wrong there. The best looking managers in the Premier League are, of course, the baldy ones.
But yeah, so I mean, I don't see. I think this is the year that every Arsenal fan said they were going to win. I mean, because they already knew right there that Rodri was gone. Hey, we know we've got this, and they've just been a big letdown to themselves. We weren't expecting this. I mean, I think we could probably go back to last summer when we did our prediction show and all that. None of us came. I think it was maybe one of us came. I think you said that exactly. You said we were going to win the league. Nobody else said that. I mean, right there. So I mean, it's like we're just like a relative unknown situation, and Arteta right there still does the same exact thing that he does: cry, moan, the sort, have his antics right there, But again, that squad right there is they can add as many names right there they want to that squad, but psychologically that squad can't get over that hurdle, and so that's why they're still trophyists at the moment.
What before we go, and I just want to point out Sir Z's smug little swivel on his chair there when we pointed out that he predicted us winning the league. He doesn't know he did it. It was almost like a little micro celebration. But before we go and get our, coffees, sodas, waters, whatever it is, granola bars, if you're not regular, before the game, give us a score prediction now that we've got all the factors in place, Sir Z and then Brian, and your impact player, and how high you're going to jump if Salah scores a spectacular goal.
Just looking at that midfield, again, we're just playing into our opponent's hands. I think it'd be 2-2. Impact player, oh God, I think. Given that I said 2-2, I don't know. Maybe Curtis Jones. Maybe. I think if he has a good game, he could win this. If he can stop the attacks down the right. But yeah, it's hard to pick an impact player. But yeah, I'm going to go for 2-2, just given our midfield. I think we're just one ragged there.
Brian, score prediction, impact player, and how high will you jump if Salah scores a spectacular?
So I'm going to go with a 2-0, and I think that the impact player is going to be Cody. And I think so we are going to see a solid goal, and I'll probably jump about 2 feet, maybe. We'll see.
As high as the pollen ever.
Yes, exactly. And once I shovel all the pollen off out there so I can have a safe landing, I'll use as a pillow.
I'm going to do a Tanuchin special 3-1. But the impact player, I think, will be Jota. I think he got his bearings last week, or against Everton, rather, and I think we might see more from him today. And it's probably a good game and a good team for him to play against. So we'll see how that works out. And I won't jump at all because, I'm fat. And we don't need the structural issues in the house here. But with that said, I don't believe there's a post-match. I think we're all off on our Todd, and then the Monday boys will talk about the game. Morning Coffee is back tomorrow morning, and the Monday podcast tomorrow night, where I'm sure I will be still working. Thanks for all the comments, Spencer and Trevor. Enjoy the game, everybody. We are off to watch Liverpool do Liverpool things, and let's just hope we get a Sturridge special type of game today, and then we can all relax for the rest of the Sunday and then watch the Manchester Derby, where we win either way. Whoever wins and loses, it's gonna be great. It'll be great, as Ross said on Friends. There's one for the oldies. Okay, thanks for joining us, Brian. Thanks for joining us, Z. Peace out, everybody. Here is the funky music.